streaking down the middle of the field and catching the back of a football. 39-yard touchdown puts the Pats in front and didn't plan on looking back. Opening drive of the second half. May looking for Demario Douglas over the middle, throw behind him, but makes the one-handed grab for the first down on fourth down. Next play, hit the Ramondre button. Stevenson in for the touchdown. Pats in front 24-13, 18 totes, 88 yards, and a touchdown for Stevenson.
We've seen this too many times.
That's not good.
Just keeps happening.
Just an end for the football.
No, that's field turf. No mud out there.
Cam Ward loses the football. Tennessee loses the game. Pats win it 31-13 after scoring 21 unanswered. Vrabel downplayed the rematch, but man was skipping off the football field in this one because he's got a team with the arrow pointed up in Tennessee with an interim head coach and the first overall pick, trying to figure out what their future looks like.
Patriots quarterback Drake May, Vrabel was kind of downplaying his return here this week. You said there might be a little something extra. How does it feel to get this commanding win?
It feels great. It feels great to get a road win. It means a little more for Coach, obviously. Coming back here in a place he was so successful. But great team win. We got some stuff to clean up, but that was fun.
You were surgical at times with 16 straight completions at one point. Ramondre Stevenson balled out on the ground. How would you say this offense is executing at this point?
We're continuing to get better and better each week. We got stuff to clean up. Ran the ball. The guys played great up front, and we got some juice, so we got to keep going.
Marcus Jones had a huge interception there to end it. How would you describe how this defense is complimenting you guys?
Defense once again, shut out in the second half. They're playing their butts off, and I experienced in training camp. They do a lot of different stuff, and they're great. It's great having them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Pats.
A youthful joy always out of the quarterback Drake May, but he's playing like a grown man. That game had a bit of history in it. 21 of 23, a 91.3% completion percentage, the best in a game in Patriot franchise history. Let's dive into it all, and maybe the marquee said one thing, but the final story says something. I want to start with you here, Logan, because you know these franchises, both sides of them. You know the standard that they put forth. But we walked into this one sort of talking about the cause and effect of the firing and then hiring of Mike Vrabel. What is your headline coming out of this game?
Well, don't think that game didn't mean anything for Mike Vrabel. It did. I played for Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's a former player. And as any former player, when I played against my Patriots, it's personal. And I know Mike Vrabel for that was personal. I know he wanted to make a statement. And you can't make a bigger statement than your quarterback beating Tom Brady's record for the most accurate game of all time. That's kind of crazy. I think quarterback is getting too easy now to get ahead of my guy Tom Brady like that. Hold on, we got to change the rules back. But I will say we talk, and this is why it made sense, because he understands the league. He understands play calling. He understands what it means to be a New England Patriot. And obviously Tennessee is looking sad right now that Mike Vrabel's on the other sideline with this team, first year, looking like that.
And the thing about this situation with Tennessee deciding to part ways with Mike Vrabel, while he was there on the sideline in Tennessee, he always did more with less in terms of the talent, the overall spectrum. When you look at this team he's currently coaching, they have more talent than any team that he coached his last few years there in Tennessee from top to bottom. But then let's highlight the young quarterback in Drake May. Over the last 4 weeks in the National Football League, I don't think there's another quarterback that's seen the football field better than Drake May. We talked about the 91% completion percentage today, but earlier, 3 weeks ago, he did 82, 73, 69, and then 91. The last 4 weeks, he has been balling in terms of his accuracy, not to mention in that 4-game stretch, 7 passing touchdowns. So when you look at where this team is currently sitting and the aspirations they have, it starts with 2 individuals, the head coach and Mike Vrabel and the quarterback in Drake May, because he's playing with an abundance of confidence and he is spreading the football around the football field to his players that are actually exceeding the expectations when you look at the pass catchers.
We talk about taking that step forward, JJ, in a sophomore season, but he's quite literally addressing all that we put in front of him a year ago. The shortcomings in terms of accuracy, downfield accuracy is on pace to make the largest jump we've ever seen in NFL history. But to B-Mac's point, the personnel for Vrabel might be the best he's had in a couple years. Personnel for the quarterback here still is wanting in something. How impressed are you in the numbers he's getting to with the group around him?
Yeah, no, it is. It's very impressive because for the last couple of years, we've talked about the New England. And so, look, they could still add a running back. Antonio Gibson went down. We're still waiting to see more from Travion Henderson. And, of course, you can't really trust on a week-to-week basis Ramondre Stevenson because of his fumbling issues. We do believe there are going to be some wide receivers on the move over these next couple of weeks. Perhaps the New England Patriots can get their hands on one of them. Also, edge rusher could be a spot. I know we're talking offensively for the Patriots, but if they could get one of those guys that can really set the edge, who could really rush the passer, that would even take this team to another level there in New England. But credit Drake May, who, as an MVP voter, I was waiting last week before I could introduce him into my top 5 voting, right? Okay, let's just see the young man keep doing it. He just did it again. I would have no problem if the vote had to be right now.
He'll be in your top 5.
He would be in my top 5.
Stacking bricks one on top of another, Mac, before we move on to more games here. Safe space, right?
Yes, it
safe
is.
Space?
This is a safe
At
space.
what point can we start being critical about the play of Cam Ward? I know what is stacked against him and the hurdles he has to clear to just move the football down the field.
Yeah.
But some of the giveaways we're seeing, the completion percentage, some ugly sacks taken, where can you be critical of the first
I think now is the time, because when you're a rookie in the National Football League playing the quarterback position, of course, being a part of a bad team, you're going to struggle. But the unforced errors have oftentimes surfaced in Cam Ward's game too much. Once again, a fumble, right? You had pressure coming down the teeth of the offensive line, but you cannot explain just dropping the football in the midst of a throwing motion that led to a defensive touchdown for the New England Patriots. And we saw the same thing last week. Last week. So these are the things that you got to get out of your system, regardless who the head coach is moving forward. You have to be a quarterback that can protect the football, because when you turn the football over often in the National Football League, you're going to lose a lot of ball games.
I cannot disagree more in terms of we got to be patient, man. I mean, obviously the ball slipped out of his hands twice, 2 plays. I get that. Today, completion percentage, 25 or 34. Okay, 225 and a touchdown, and an INT and a lost fumble. Who on the Titans is playing well? Because I'll tell you, their running back, Tony Pollard, who's making a lot of money, he had 18 yards rushing. Jeffrey Simmons is playing well. He was on the sideline today with injury. The receivers have not been playing well. They've been dropping the ball. Oh, by the way, the head coach is fired. And by the way, the offensive line coach, who's the head coach's dad, is not there anymore.
Yeah.
So if you're the quarterback, the number 1 draft pick, we fire the head coach 7 games into the season, and you don't have your offensive line coach, who's one of the best in the league. So you think about your safety. I mean, what is the future of Cam Ward when you don't even have an offensive line coach capable on the staff?
And a credit to the young man and the young talent that is Cam Ward, who is going to be the first to raise his hand and say, I got to be better. But the team as a whole has to be better around him. He does lead the league in sacks taken and has the lowest completion percentage currently in the NFL. We got more to come here on HQ Postgame as we look at some numbers out of this one. The Pats, 5-2, have already surpassed the win total from the past 2 seasons. And for Vrabel, the feather in his cap, surpassing the win total of the Tennessee Titans the last 2 seasons combined. More to come here on HQ Postgame. Straight ahead, it was a battle of the lefties. I have this working theory. Everything looks better lefty. The theory took a hit on Sunday. More when we return.